Okay, good morning, students. Today we're going to try to do a think aloud. I'm not entirely confident that I can do this, but you know what? We learn by doing, right? So the first thing I want to do is share something off of Google Classroom today, something that I put on there for you to work on, and let's see if we can bring it up. Okay. Alrighty, I think that I've got you there. Let me see, I think I've got it. Here it is, okay. So we're together. Now remember, as always, okay, we're always paying attention to what? We're paying attention to the title, okay? I'm putting a little check, I'm gonna circle it. The stuff of legends. The title is the window into the main idea, okay? And this is tested. And look at the subtitle. Vanishing hitchhikers, alligators in sewers. These tales aren't true, are they? So again, this is sort of like your subtitles giving you a little bit of an idea of where we're headed, okay? All right, so this really happened to a friend of mine. He was going home from the office one night when it started to rain. At the side of the road, he saw a kid with a Chicago Bulls cap hitchhiking. My dad's friend felt sorry for the kid because it was raining, so he had him hop in the back seat and drove him 3 miles to the kid's house. When he pulled into the driveway, my dad's friend was amazed that the kid disappeared from the back seat, leaving only his cap. He rang the doorbell, intending to return the cap. A woman answered the door, and my dad's friend could see a photo of his passenger on the wall behind her. The woman sighed heavily as my dad's friend explained what had happened to her son. Then she quietly told him that the boy had died 5 years ago before, and that my dad's friend was the third person to have given the ghost a ride home. Okay? An amazing story, sure. But before you hop on the internet to investigate or start arguing with whether ghosts exist, you should know that versions of this story have been around for 50 years. The Vanishing Hitchhiker is a classic urban legend. One of those stories that everyone hears and everyone swears it's true. You probably heard some yourself. You may have even told one. So here, look at the word urban. Now, you've been taught that urban means from the city, and it does, except that an urban legend is just a story that's been passed around. You know, like those internet stories that are fake, like the giant wild boar that somebody caught, or the gigantic alligator, and then you find out that it's really just a lie. Okay, clues whether to tell it's true. If you pay attention, it's easy to sniff out an urban legend when someone is telling it. Look for these clues. Okay, the first thing is they're always going to insist that they're telling a true story. Like, really? Okay, all right. It's usually said to have happened to a friend of a friend. That may include details. So what they're saying here is, you know, it's a friend of a friend. Like, we got one at work recently. We got one from Stanford Medical, like how to tell if you've got the coronavirus. And actually, it's an urban legend. I looked it up on Snopes. So it usually includes an element of surprise, horror, or humor, okay? So there's always going to be that element. These are all clues as to whether it's an urban legend. Like, there's going to be a lot of them going around all over now because of the coronavirus. So when you get something on the internet in your email, make sure it's not an urban legend. It's spread by word of mouth, sometimes with an assist from a newspaper columnist or talk show hosts. Recently, these stories have been showing up on the internet. Now, this is one of my favorites right here, okay? This is the The case of the strange dog, okay? That is just, it's too weird. There's a story about the woman who went to Mexico on vacation. While there, she befriended one of the many stray animals running through the streets, a cute little dog that followed her. Becoming attached to the animal, okay, let's see, she hid it in her car as she crossed the border on the way home. Kind of funny, right? I mean, I'm just saying, you know, she smuggled them. It was an illegal pet. Once home, she took the animal and her other pets, a cat and a dog, to the veterinarian for a checkup. Do you know what breed this is? She asked the vet. Well, the doctor said, pointing to her old dog, this one's a Labrador Retriever. The cat is Siamese, and this one is a sewer rat. So there's your element of surprise, okay? What you really brought home was, you know what, okay? I'm not going to tell you, you need to read carefully. All right, Caught Red-Handed is another absolutely amazing, amazing urban legend, okay? One of the more gory dog stories making the rounds is about another woman who comes home to find her Doberman choking. She drops the dog off at the animal hospital, and upon returning receives an urgent call from the vet. Leave the house now, he says. It seems when he examined the dog, he discovered it was choking on two fingers it had bitten off the hand of an intruder. When the police arrived at the home, they found the defingered thief passed out in a closet, bleeding profusely. So, can you figure out what happened there? If you can't, reread it, okay? Because you really should be able to figure out that basically she found the dog choking, takes the dog to the hospital, and, you know, to the animal hospital, and apparently there was the thief had gotten his fingers bitten off. All right, alligators in the sewers. And this was big when I was growing up. You probably heard this one. Some visitors to Florida return home to New York City with baby alligators as pets or presents. The little critters are cute until they start to grow. Then they're flushed down the toilet into the sewer system where they flourish on a daily diet of rats. So, are there alligators in the New York City's sewers? Our heads tell us this can't be true, but no reptile could survive in such a place. In the New York Times of February 10th, 1935, reported that teenagers shoveling snow into a manhole were astonished to see an alligator below. According to the story, the 7.5 to 8 foot long animal was captured and dragged from the sewer. Then it was killed when it became vicious. And in 1959, an author named Robert Daly told a story of having interviewed a former sewer commissioner who announced in 1937 that the sewers had been cleared of alligators. Or is he just pulling someone's leg? Now, pulling someone's leg is what they call an idiomatic expression. It means, is he just joking with you? Like when they say, is it raining cats and dogs? That's an idiomatic expression. It just means it's raining a lot. And only people from particular areas understand what it means. That's entertainment. Mouse tails found in bottles of vodka. The unlucky woman who visits too many tanning parlors ends up with cooked innards. Snakes that crawl out of imported rugs and bite the purchasers. They're all stuff of urban legends. Next time someone starts to tell a tale that happened to a friend, you'll know you're probably about to hear an urban legend. Is it true? Does it matter? What good storyteller ever let the truth get in the way of a good story, right? So in other words, people will say anything to make a story good. It doesn't have to be true. Collecting folklore. Collecting urban legends can be a great project. You'll learn the elements of folklore fieldwork, create a valuable archive for future scholars, and become more involved in your community. An archive is like a library. a collection, okay? To begin with, you'll need a notebook and a tape recorder, or better yet, a video camera that also records sound. Pick a quiet place where you can interview and record the storyteller without background music or other interruptions. Like a good newspaper reporter, you will find out as much as you can about the story and storyteller. Who is the storyteller? Identify name and age and address. Where and when did the storyteller first tell the story? Does he or she know any variations? Why is it a good tale? Does the storyteller think it makes some point or has a moral? After making the recording, label your tape with the title of the story and the date you collected it. Have the storyteller sign a release form which spells out what you may do with the recording. The final step is to transcribe the recording and type it. You may be able to get a foot-operated control for your tape recorder that lets you stop and start the recording and back up so you can catch up. You can tell this was written before the time of the iPhone, right? Okay, the art of storytelling. Good storytellers are made, not born. Like everything else, telling a good story around a campfire is a skill that takes practice. Begin by listening to someone who's a good storyteller. What special touches does he or she bring to the story? Facial expressions, hand movements, different tones of voice, suspense. Before you tell a story, jot down a skeleton outline. Just notice to yourself about the way the story should unfold. Unfold means how it should progress, right? Is there a special beginning? Is there action in the middle that builds up to a climax? Boom. Is there a punchline at the end? The best way to ruin a story is by giving away the punchline. Have you heard the story about the woman who brought home a sewer rat? Asks an inexperienced storyteller. There's nothing left to tell after an opening like that. Practice telling the story to yourself, then to your family. Speak slowly and look at your audience so you'll hold their attention. And when you've gotten some practice and confidence, you'll find the words will flow more smoothly and you may add detail for each audience. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is our read aloud for today. Now I'm going to be putting these words into vocabulary.com, all right? The words that are the most important from the story. And I'll be posting it online. And I'm also going to post an urban legend that's been going around about coronavirus with a Snopes report, so you can see where to go if you want to verify if something is an urban legend. All right, that's all for now. Okay, bye-bye.